Have you ever been so sure you were alone only to feel a chill down your spine that tells the city outside my window was asleep, and the only illumination in my apartment came from the cold glow of my 32-inch monitor. The only sound while I waited downstairs. When they came back, their expressions were neutral. They said they had conducted a thorough search. No one was in the apartment, no windows were forced, nothing was out of place. But then one of the officers, an older guy with a kind but weary face, added something. "Your bedroom door was unlocked, son," and he hesitated. "There's a single bare footprint in the dust on the floor inside the doorway. Looks like it's pointing out." They tried to reassure me it could have been there for days, maybe from when I was moving boxes. But I knew. I knew with every fiber of my being that it hadn't been. I had vacuumed that room 3 days prior. Incident 2. The Whisper. The next week was a blur of anxiety. I tried every rationalization possible. Stress, auditory hallucinations from sleep deprivation. I even looked up symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning. My girlfriend was away visiting family, and her absence made the apartment feel vast and threatening. A few nights after the first incident, I was trying to act normal. I decided to watch a loud, action-packed movie to fill the silence. I had the volume up, trying to drown out my own nerves. During a quieter moment in the film, I got up to get a glass of water from the kitchen. As I passed the entrance to the dark hallway, I heard it. A whisper. It wasn't coming from down the hall. It was impossibly close, as if someone were standing right beside my left ear. It was soft, hushed, a stream of sibilant sounds. I couldn't make out any words, but the intention felt clear. It was meant for me. I spun around so fast I almost fell, my back slamming against the wall, my eyes wide and straining against the darkness of the hall. There was nothing there, but the air around me had dropped in temperature by what felt like 10 degrees, a cold spot, right there in my living room. I fumbled frantically for the light switch, my hand slapping the wall until I found it. The hallway was flooded with light, revealing its stark emptiness. My heart was a frantic drum against my ribs. I rushed to the TV and turned it off, plunging the apartment into a sudden, profound silence. I stood frozen in the center of the living room, my entire body trembling, too terrified to move in any direction. That's when I heard the sigh. It came from the bedroom at the end of the now brightly lit hall. It was a clear, soft, human sigh, but it wasn't a sigh of sleep or contentment. It sounded tired, deeply, profoundly resigned. It was the sound of someone giving up. I didn't sleep a wink that night. I sat rigid on the couch with every single light in the apartment blazing until the gray light of dawn finally filtered through the windows. Incident 3. The reflection, the final incident, the one that broke me, happened about a week later. I was trying to reclaim my space, to be brave. I had to work. I had bills to pay. I was back at my desk, but I had repositioned my chair. Now I was facing the large decorative mirror that hung on the wall opposite my desk. This mirror reflected the entire living room behind me, including the entrance to the hallway. It was my way of keeping watch without having to turn my back. I was debugging a piece of code, my focus intense. I picked up my phone to check the time. It was 3:17 a.m. As I lowered the phone, my eyes flicked up to the mirror, and I saw it. A movement. A pale, blurred face had been peering out from the darkness of the hallway. It was there for just a fraction of a second, and then it ducked back out of sight. My blood turned to ice. I didn't dare move. I just stared into the mirror, my eyes locked on the empty hallway entrance in the reflection. My breath was caught in my throat. A full minute passed. Nothing. Gathering every ounce of courage I had, I slowly, so slowly, turned my head to look directly down the physical hallway. It was empty, just as it had been in the mirror. A wave of relief, tinged with exhaustion, washed over me. It's the sleep deprivation. It's your mind playing tricks on you. I let out a shaky breath and turned back to face my desk. As I did, my eyes instinctively went back to the mirror to reorient myself. She was there. A woman, pale and gaunt, with dark, hollowed eyes, was standing directly behind my chair. In the reflection, she was so close I could see the texture of her simple, dark dress. She wasn't looking at me. She was staring intently at the back of my head, as if studying me. A scream, raw and involuntary, tore from my throat. I scrambled backward, my office chair rolling away and crashing into the wall. I fell to the floor, my eyes glued to the mirror. She was still there, but as I stared, hyperventilating on the floor, her head slowly tilted. Her dark eyes in the reflection moved from the spot where my head had been and locked directly onto my eyes in the mirror. She was looking at me, seeing me. In that moment of horrific connection, her image seemed to waver, and then she faded, dissolving like smoke until there was nothing left but the reflection of my own terrified face on the floor. I didn't bother packing a bag. I grabbed my keys and wallet from the table, ran out the door, and drove to a hotel. I stayed there for a week. I broke my lease, paid the penalty, and moved out a month later. I never got another explanation. The building manager had no records of any unusual deaths. The police had no further information. But I know what I saw. I know what I heard. So please, take it from me. If you're home alone late at night and you hear something you can't explain, trust your instincts. Don't rationalize it. Don't dismiss it. Turn on all the lights. Call a friend. Or better yet, just don't stay alone long at night at home. It's not worth the risk.